What?
No time to explain! Run!
Will we be taking a ride this evening, Professor?
No. I'm afraid not. These older models are entirely at the mercy of the breeze, and there is far too much of it, I'm afraid, to be safe. Now, this particular example... What do you think you're doing? Get out of there this instant!
Cut the ropes! I'll cover you!
Oh my.
Hurry! Good!
You're mine, corpse.
Careful!
You can't escape!
Just one more! Oh no!
I'll come to you! Hang on!
I'll try to stay put! It certainly is lovely up here. You should see the view.
Oh, you don't say!
The wind is picking up. You'd better hurry.
Yes, thank you. Have you thought at all about how you plan to get down?
Oh, these things tend to work themselves out. You're going to run out of roof soon. I hope you've got a plan.
Does watch and laugh as you crash into the river count?
Leave them. Just run.
Hasten your pace. Try and cut them off.
I can handle them. Do keep running. Leave them. A flying basket. How peculiar.
That's him! What happened?
I think the rope's caught.
You, halt!
Just hang on!
Get down here! Stop!
Arno! Are you all right? Arno!
I'm all right.
Hold it! Stop that!
They might actually be trying to hit me. What did you do back there?
It's a long story. This hardly seems like the time.
I really should talk to Napoleon about this.
Arno! I can't slow it down!
Reload! Again! Ready?
Hurry!
Aim!
It hardly seems like the time. We're almost at the river! Hurry!
Just coming! Next time, I plan the escape route. It's beautiful.
From up here, you'd never know the nation is tearing itself apart.
Can things ever go back to the way they were before, do you think?
Do you? After everything that's happened? Everything we've lost?
So that's it then. The course of history forever altered, never again to return.
Maybe we can't go back. But going forward isn't necessarily an ending.
Elise, You cheated.
You took too long.
I love you.
Had to dash. You looked so peaceful, I didn't want to wake you. Je t'aime, Elise.
Someone will come and collect it. Surely.
Et tout ça, c'est de la viande. C'est tout de même particulièrement hideux.
Initiate, do you read me? I'm sorry about all this noise. There's a waterfall of signal distortion. It's not looking good. How about one more boost before I lose this connection? Sending you the data now. You're close to the goal, okay? So hold fast. Our own research couldn't locate the date and place of Germain's death, so you'll have to find it yourself. Bishop out.
Particulièrement hideux.
Are you sure about this?
Not particularly, no. But the Marquis is on the National Convention with Le Pelletier. He might have some insight.
Which is a more incisive commentary on corruption in the bishopric. 7 nuns seducing a parish priest into debauchery, or an enormously endowed Benedictine sodomizing a goat named Pius?
No force in heaven or on earth will make me answer that question.
Quite right, Arno. The goat it is. So, what can I do for you? And your charming companion.
Louis-Michel Le Pelletier. What can you tell us about him?
Ah, dear Louis. He went from abolishing the death penalty to calling for the king's head in 2 short years.
Where can we find him?
I'm afraid I don't often socialize with my fellow deputies. Something about my distaste for the beheading of the innocent. Speaking of innocence...
De Sade. Le Pelletier.
Well, I believe he often takes meals at a certain cafe near Le Palais Royal. I believe you can find him there.
If we don't, I'll be back.
Really? Well, then I hope I'm mistaken.
No, you don't.
Wine delivery for the palace.
Take it round back.
Make sure you clean those windows properly this time, or Mr. Le Pelletier will have my head.
Madame.
Bonjour, Citizen Le Pelletier.
Citizen Talia.
Your anti-revolutionary days are done.
Will you be attending the execution tomorrow?
Of course. Won't you?
Thought I might give it a miss. Crowds, you know.
Crowd.
Waiter.
For that, you've missed the defining event.
Oui, monsieur. A bottle of your finest wine. Tonight we celebrate the death of tyranny.
David, get me a bottle of the Chateau d'If.
Guards! Guards! Stop them there!
J'en dirais que Monseigneur est un vieux charmeur et que...
Pas besoin d'être Lavoisier.
can't escape, maggot! There you are!
Ready? Not right.
Which way, corpse? Which way? He's gaining! Hurry! Shove off, you lot! Come on!
The king must be seen as a criminal and a traitor. Only then, when he's executed like a common villain, can we show the world Jacques de Malay's great truth.
You may show the world what truths you like, Grandmaster. What I do for the good of France.
You were right. King Louis's been talking to all sorts he shouldn't have.
Citizen Le Pelletier, the vote stands at 360 for execution to 360 for clemency. How do you vote?
Execution! The vote is cast and counted, Grandmaster.
And?
The king will die.
I had no doubt. I shall very much look forward to witnessing the end of tyranny.
I'll see to it you have the finest view.
Got it! That's it! Not one more step! Just you try to pass me! Aha, bastard! Back off, you git!
Up now. Are you sure Germain will be there?
Yes, I'm sure.
Then what are we waiting for?
Let's split up. We'll cover more ground that way.
Bring forth the condemned! I see you!
Hello, Arno.
Monsieur Germain.
It's fitting you are here to witness the rebirth of the Templar Order. After all, you were there for its conception.
Monsieur de la Serre.
I tried to make him see. But the Order had become corrupt, clutching at power and privilege for their own sake.
But you could set it right. Is that it? All by killing the man in charge.
No, de la Serre's death was only the first stage. This is the culmination.
Je meurs innocent. Messieurs, je suis innocent de tout ce dont on m'inculpe. Je souhaite que mon sang puisse cimenter le bonheur des Français.
King is merely a symbol. Symbol can inspire fear, and fear can inspire control, but men inevitably lose their fear of symbols, as you can see. This was the truth de Molay died for. Divine right of kings is nothing but the reflection of sunlight upon gold. And the crown and church are ground to dust. We who control the gold will decide the future. Jacques de Molay. Vous êtes vengé. I must take my leave. Good day to you. Kill him.
Go!
Quite an entrance.
What are you doing? Go after him!
I'm not leaving you here to die.
Protect the Grandmaster!
Elise, it's time to go.
I can help you. Go after him.
Elise!
No, damn it!
More of them!
I turned you into horse.
Just go! Follow Germain!
It's not worth it!
On my way!
Don't be absurd, you can't fight so many on your own.
Go, I'll buy you time!
Save your energy for our enemy.
Stop that man!
Elise, wait!
As an aristocrat, better dead than alive. Hey, you! Stay there a moment! Get him! I'll have you dead in your tracks.
Oh, Christ. Elise, it's over. Let's go.
I'm not letting him go!
Where are you gonna run to? We own the street.
Vaut mieux qu'une mort aussi sordide.
Drop in the pace!
You must have gone on foot.
We have a more pressing concern at the moment. Elise!
He's gone. Damn it! Our one chance!
It's not over. We'll find another lead.
No, we won't. You think he'll be so careless now, knowing how close at heel we are? You were given a golden opportunity to end his life, and you refused to take it.
To save your life?
It isn't yours to save.
What are you saying?
I'm willing to risk everything to put Jama down. If you don't have the stomach for revenge, then I don't need your help.
Elise. Elise!
What cheer, my friend?
How are you, friend?
What in God's name happened at the Place de la Révolution today?
Germain was there, and I know what his plan is. You have to...
You were told to leave that investigation to others.
Yes, but listen.
Yes, but listen. Is that the regard in which you hold the Brotherhood?
I knew this would happen. I told Mirabeau that you were too obsessed with your personal vendettas.
This is why I joined the Brotherhood.
Yes, not because you shared our ideas or felt called to the service. For revenge.
For redemption.
Call it what you will. You've defied the orders of this council repeatedly, pursued targets without sanction, and flouted our creed at every step.
Master Trenet?
In light of these actions, I find I have no choice but to call for a vote of expulsion. Master Bellier.
Agreed.
What are you...
Master Kemar.
Agreed.
Arno Dorian, you are attainted. Your rank and title are stripped from you, and you are hereby exiled from the Brotherhood of Paris.
You cannot be serious. Listen, I know what Germain is doing. I can stop him!
The decision of this council is final. We give you leave to go.
Damn. No. Where is it? Brasserie Garceau. Was that last night?
Get the hell out of here!
But I...
Ouch! You've caused enough trouble for one night.
Fine. I'll procure my wine in some other fashion.
Hold a moment. What was that?
What was that?
Oh well. Got better things to do anyway.
Oh. Didn't drink.
Stop there, citizen! Scum! Die like a man, you coward!
You can't escape! There's someone there. Hang about.
Where'd he go?
Quick, bugger.
That's behind you.
You missed the last wagon to us, you traitor!
Your kind don't deserve a quick death, so it's my choice.
All you traitors will end up with points. Up and with you. There! You bloody mods don't deserve anything but a blade to the guts! I'll scrape every last one of your kind off my boots! You're now deck the mongrel! Lead the boss!
Garde! Donnez l'alerte! Il y a un corps sans vie ici! À l'aide! Vite!
was last night. Maybe I left it there.
Ma parole, quel aventurier! La touche, murderous bastard.
Looks like someone got into a fight.
Oh, Christ. Not you again. Didn't do enough damage last night.
No, I just... My father's watch. Have you seen it?
I seen nothing. Might want to ask one of the four men you picked a fight with. Idiot.
Watch it!
You don't want to do that, boy.
Piss off, old man.
On there, you righty!
You. Where's your boss?
Oh, shit!
No. Get back here.
Well, if it isn't the best barkeep in town.
Where?
The palace! They're at the palace!
Thank you.
Bag it all, boys!
Beats rolling farmers for their coppers, eh, lads?
Damn right! Got ya!
Look at all this. Even the chamber pot of gold.
Hell was that?
If I get my hands on you, I rip your bloody eyes out, I will! I call the silverware! Now, aren't you glad we came here? Diable! Is that mink?
Looks like it.
Oh, you're no patriot!
Can't I go with you, Father?
Courage, my boy. You wait just here. I will return when this hand reaches the top.
What's that?
And Arno, no exploring.
Yes, Father.
Bloody royalist!
Look out for a trap!
You're mine, corpse.
You look like hell.
You look like you want something from me.
That's a fine thing to say after you up and vanished.
You made it fairly clear you no longer required my services.
Don't you dare talk to me like that.
What do you expect me to say, Elise? Forgive me for not letting you die? I'm sorry that I care more about you than about killing Germain.
I thought we wanted the same thing.
What I wanted was you. I can't bear the fact that my carelessness got your father killed. Everything I've done since then has been to fix that mistake. And to prevent it from happening again. You must have come here with something in mind. What was it?
Paris is tearing itself apart. Germain has driven the revolution to new heights of depravity. The guillotines operate nearly around the clock now.
And what do you expect me to do about it?
The Arno I love wouldn't have to ask that question. You're better than this. I'm going back to Paris. Are you coming?
There's one last thing I need to do.
All right. I'll go see to our transportation. Stay out of trouble. Don't get caught.
Look what you've gotten us into now.
Shut up in there! So, this is what France has come to. Parasites, bleeding the revolution dry.
Come back here and fight!
Got your back, got ya.
Hey, you there!
Fired? But why?
Because, Monsieur Latouche, your last report contained numerous errors.
Sir, I triple-checked those figures. They're not in error. 10,000 livres simply vanished from His Majesty's treasury.
I'm sorry, Latouche. Good day.
Monsieur Latouche, they tell me you are a taxman.
Yes, sir.
Good. I have need of someone like you.
It's parasitism, plain and simple.
What's that mean?
It means greedy bastards skimming for themselves instead of doing their jobs. If you knew half the shit our bosses rats here.
Tell me about this boss of yours.
Very well. May the Father of Understanding guide you.
May the Father of Understanding guide us. What would you have me do, Prime Master?
I'm placing your services at the disposal of our agent on the convention.
Le Peltier?
Now, Peltier has his uses, but he's not our only friend in government. Monsieur Latouche, I present to you Monsieur Maximilien de Robespierre.
Monsieur, I understand Versailles is overrun with parasites.
sunshine.